everybody. It is Friday, August the 7th, 2026, and we are here live on the Inspiration Station with none other than your CEO, your Chief Encouragement Officer, Joshua Lennox. I am glad to be here as I am every Friday, and I'm glad that you're here. I'm glad that you're tuning in. I'm glad that you're sharing. I'm glad that you're liking. I'm glad that you're subscribing. Guys, I hope that you have been enjoying this week, also this day so far. I know this is your favorite time of the day and of the week and all of that stuff. I know because it's with me. I hope that you all have been overcoming what's been coming over you because that's what we are. We are more than conquerors through Christ who loves us. So, want to jump in really quick, y'all. If this is your first time, this will not be your last time. I just encourage you to buckle up really quick. I'm not going to be before you long today, as I want to get you guys off onto your Fridays, and I want you to sit with some things, think on some things, reflect on some things, and take this on with you as you go on through your weekend and for the rest of your life. Inspiration Station, y'all know we're inspirations to each other as well as we are to ourselves. We're also open, honest, and vulnerable with each other, but also with ourselves. So we're making sure that we're not neglecting our own relationship with self. Also, I want to say this too, that people will be coming on at some point soon to be interviewed again. We're going to strike that up sometime soon. And again, it might not look like this. It might be something totally different. So stay tuned. Also, this is a place where I often say this has been a season, I believe, for many of us to have a orientation or a training, a new training of who we're becoming. You are still a person who's dealing with who you were, and you're coming over to who you are becoming at this moment in time and season of your life. So I don't know if some of you all have been in a position lately, but I know I have. I sometimes look at myself and I'm like, I don't really know all about who I am at this moment. I'm not sure about everything of myself or every part of myself because I'm evolving, I'm changing, I'm transforming, and it's on a day-to-day basis. So there's certain things that I used to do, the way I used to talk, the way I used to conduct myself, the people who I used to communicate with on a consistent basis, my ideas, the way I see things, my perspective, everything is changing. And I'm sure that that's happening for you too. In light of that, today, really quick, what I want you to hold on to what I just said about transforming and things of that nature. And I want you to think about even how you allow people to treat you, what you tolerate, what you enable people to do in your lives, and how they come at you, how they speak to you, and how they show up in your life. So today's title is "You're Nobody's Coffee Table Book." You're nobody's coffee table book. Put your hand on yourself. Say, I'm nobody's coffee table book. That's right. You're nobody's coffee table book. What is a coffee table book? Y'all know what a coffee table book is. You go to someone's home and they have a wonderful dining room table or something, or even a round table and maybe one of the entertainment rooms or anything of that nature. And I mean, you could do this even when you think about it when you go to a doctor's office or an office of any kind and you're in a waiting room and you see books or magazines that are sitting down and you might see something and you get interested and you pick it up and you read it for the time being until you want to put it back down. So, in light of that, have you ever noticed that some people only pick you up when it's convenient for them? They show interest, ask all about your life, make you feel important, then suddenly you're back on the shelf or the table in this case until they need something else. They get lonely or they remember that you exist. You weren't created to be someone's coffee table book. And that's exactly what I was saying just a few seconds ago. People they'll pick you up. They're so interested. They want to know what's going on with you. They're able to get things from you. They have access to you until they don't. And then they put you back down. They might be in a lonely place. They might want to talk to you about something. They know that you're a great listening ear. You're a person who really cares. You're generous. They might be looking for some help with money, needing for you to borrow something or needing you to lend something to them, needing an opportunity, needing you to be someone who shows up for them or who can encourage them, be a cheerleader for them, be a resource for them. And I mean, the list can go on. But when they're not interested or when they don't need something from you, they put you back down. How we're going to do these things, how I want you to recognize some things in your life when you recognize people are showing up in this manner, when they're coming to you only to pick you up just to then put you down when they no longer need you. 3 points today. Now, I told you I was going to be quick. 3 points today that are going to help you recognize these things so that you're readily available to put some things in place to say, no, you ain't going to just pick me up and turn a few pages and then put me down and let me collect dust until you're ready to pick me up again. I'm not that, and this ain't that either. So, first thing is, Point one is recognize the pattern. You see this stuff happening over and over again. You can almost call it before you see it what somebody's going to do because they've done it more than once. Not everyone who has access to you actually values you. Not everyone who has access to you actually values you. Some people will reach out only when they're bored, only call when they need advice, disappear when your needs require their attention, and they reappear expecting the same level of access they had before. Now, again, I know some of you all probably are stewing right now, steaming, thinking like, you know what? There are some patterns that I have seen with people in my life, and it's some of the things that Josh even said. Don't get upset, but if you're going to get upset, do something about it as far as making sure you're protecting your access, guarding your access, because you're valuable. You're a person who is not indispensable, somebody who should just, you're just not a fly by night. You're just not a regular person. So when people get access to you, that should have been something that that's something that everybody doesn't get. But pay attention to how people show up and when they show up. You can almost tell. There was a person in my life at one point, I always knew when they reached out to me, they needed money. They always needed money. There was also other people who always wanted they wanted my advice. They were pulling on me, or they wanted me to pray for them or prophesy to them. It's just like anytime they called me, they wanted something from me, not they were calling to check on Josh. Or y'all know those people who call you, hey, I was just thinking about you. And they do all this nice little conversation, this casual conversation, and then boom, it's like, okay, yep, this is what you really called me for. Something that stuck out too is people will disappear when your needs require their attention. When you're used to being the strong person, I know the people that I speak to are the people who people deem as strong people, especially myself. And people won't think that you have need of anything. They think that you don't need an ear, you don't need a shoulder, you don't need someone to encourage you, pray for you, anything of that nature. See if there's something that they can help you with or be there for you in any kind of way. So, because of that, you might open up one day and think, let me start talking about something that I need to talk about, or just kind of share this with them just because we're having a conversation. That person will start to squirm, and they'll almost say, hey, I gotta take this phone call, or let me jump off here. I got something to do, because they don't have time for you because they can't hold what you're trying to give them, because they're only coming to you because of what they can gain, how they come with their hands open to you. They're not coming to bring you anything. They're coming to take away from you. Consistency reveals more I'm sorry, consistency reveals value more than intensity. Y'all, I can't even read my handwriting. Consistency reveals value more than intensity. When you continue to see someone show up in a way, and again, this could be a positive. When we talk about recognizing patterns, pay attention to how people show up for you when they're the other person on the flip side. They want to support you. They want to be there for you. They want to see if there's anything they can take off your plate. They want to be that person who you can confide in, be a safe place for. They want to do stuff for you. So again, pay attention to that consistency that shows up, whether that be unhealthy or healthy. Unhealthily, yeah, we talked about that. People showing up when they're bored, when they only need something. In a healthy manner, there are people who show up because they're showing up for you, not for what you can offer them, not for what they can get from you. All right. Point two. Told you I'm gonna move quick. Point two. Stop mistaking attention for honor. Stop mistaking attention for honor. How does it show up? Attention isn't the same as appreciation. Anybody can give you some attention, but they can only be sitting there thinking about, again, what can I get from you? What can I say to you to get the right things? And you got to watch out for what can I say to get the certain things out of you? Sometimes it can also show up as manipulation. Yes, somebody's been giving you so much attention and telling you all these great things about who you are and how they appreciate you. You're an amazing person, and they don't know what they would do without you. And you think that's honor, but they're saying all of these things until they are saying that all of this to get something out of you. I remember I had to learn early. And I'm thankful, because in all things work together for those that love the Lord, who are called according to his purpose. Romans 8:28. For we know all things work together for the good of them that love the Lord and are called according to his purpose. I did a remix, but I'm glad I got bullied and teased. I know that sounds crazy. I'm glad, and it happened for many years, but I'm glad because it gave me a thick skin. It gave me also a choice to know, a chance to see everybody's not going to like me and they're not supposed to. Even if I don't do anything to them, if I don't say anything to them, they're not going to like me. But then also, it taught me how to look at phony people. People who were very fickle, because I have seen it where people can praise me and oh my God, Josh, you're the best person, you're this, that, and the other. I mean, I've seen it with clients and stuff. You're the greatest client, the therapist I've ever had, or you're the best singer I've ever heard, or you're the best friend I've ever had, or you're an amazing individual. And those same people will turn around and stab me in the back, or they will do something hurtful or harmful to me, or when they don't get what they want from me, they change, they flip, or they disappear. So it's like you can do all of this quote unquote appreciation and stuff like that. But again, as it says, attention isn't the same as appreciate. You don't appreciate me because, again, think about what I'm saying. You don't appreciate me. You appreciate what I can do. Know the difference, because some of you all have experienced people only coming to you because of how they can benefit from what they can get from you, not who you are. Someone, again, can compliment you. They need you. They even enjoy being around you, which is a privilege. And still not steward your heart well. They still don't really care about how they affect you in any way. They just want to take from you. Honor is demonstrated through consistency, respect, and intentionality. Honor is demonstrated through consistency, respect, and intentionality. You have to pay attention to how people are showing up in your life or not showing up in your life. I know something that my mother really raised me on was, of course, respecting my elders, but she was very much so serious about me respecting my leaders. And being consistent with them, respectful and intentional about how I honored them, especially like my pastor, my teachers, even in law enforcement, whomever. That was something that was embedded in me a long time ago. And when people see that you are consistent and respectful and intentional, and you're doing this all the time, that builds trust. Because as I said before, even on here, y'all, anything that is consistently inconsistent is going to birth a lack of trust. So pay attention to how people are showing up in your life consistently, respectfully, and intentionally. And also where there's reciprocity. There should not be this one-way street, okay? Number three, this is the last point. I told y'all I'm gonna be brief. I keep hearing y'all like, that's it. I'm almost done. Boundaries protect what access can damage. Boundaries protect what access can damage. Sometimes you're going to almost have to have some barbed wire up with some people, because some people have shown you who they were. Maya Angelou said it best. If someone shows you who they are, believe them the first time. And I have learned here recently, as it's been said, is that a person can have a bad moment and not be a bad person, but somebody can have a great moment and not be a great person. That's from my pastor, actually. And I believe that some people can make mistakes early in the journey of you getting to know them or something, and it could literally be that moment. And then actually having a communication about it to understand what it was. And as you continue to pay attention to that person's patterns and their behaviors, it'll probably tell you all that you need to know, because that could have literally been if somebody offended you or they did something wrong to you early in your friendship, in dating, any kind of with business or something. You can really see that that person, as time goes along, they'll tell you all about who they are without telling you. So sometimes you have to have certain levels of boundaries to protect your access. You can't just open the floodgates. Whitney Houston said early in her career, she was opening up for Luther Vandross, and she was doing a cover by Lionel Richie called Love Will Find a Way. And she told the audience, she said, I tell you what, she said, you give me some of you, and I'll give you all of me. First time I heard that, I was like, she was so sweet. Like, she just really loved people. Then I was like, wait a minute. How many of us have given so much full, like you giving full on access to people who have barely shown themselves worthy of that? I know I have. I know I can feel the hands raising. But not everyone deserves unlimited access. And actually, the only person who should have unlimited access is the Lord, okay? But there are certain high levels of access a person can give you, but it's had to be tried and true and trusted. It's had to be tried, true, and trusted. Healthy boundaries would say something like, you can care about me without controlling me. Sometimes people find their way of trying to manipulate you by controlling you to get what they want from you. But at the same time, it's like it says, can you care? You can care about me without controlling me. Somebody can love you. Somebody should support you. Somebody should be present with you without trying to navigate your life or get what they want out of you. You can know me without having unrestricted access to me. Somebody, just because they know you doesn't mean they every time they call you, you have to answer, or every time they want to see you, you have to show up, or you just don't have to always be readily available for people. That's not something that comes just because you know me. And I think that happens a lot of times with celebrities or people who are well known. They feel like people can feel like they can have any type of access to them because they give their lives to the world. It's like, no. And I love what Fantasia said some years ago. She said she didn't even know Aretha Franklin had children until much like almost at that point, at that current moment, which is probably about 3 years before Aretha Franklin even passed. She said she never even know she had children because people were just wanting to know about the music, what you had to give them. They weren't trying to have such access to people. And some people feel entitled to have access to you because they're connected to you, and that's not the case. Also, healthy boundaries would say that access is earned through consistency. Access is earned through consistency. I need to keep seeing who you are. Anybody can show you anything within the first few months of knowing them or getting to know them, but after a while, that mask is going to come off if you choose not to. What did we learn a couple of on here before? If you choose not to project your own expectations of what you want them to be or how you want them to show up on them, and you actually see the reality of that. So someone can't fake consistency because at some point they're going to show you exactly who they are or who they're not. So also make sure you guard your heart. Not because you're fearful. This doesn't need to be this thing like I don't want to be connected to anybody. I don't want to give anybody any type of access to my life, not out of fear, but because it's valuable. You are a treasure. You are a treasure, and also you are priceless, never less than price. People have to earn that with you. You can't just let anybody just come in, and all the work you've done in your life to become who you are. You are so compassionate, loving, generous, kind. You have to guard those things because there are vultures out there. There are vampires out there. There are people who can come in wolves in sheep's clothing, portraying a certain thing, but time will tell and consistency will tell, character will tell who this person really is over time. And you can't be blinded by not having boundaries in place to say, okay, wait a minute, it's going to take some time for me to open up this door to whoever this is. You're going to have to show me who you are. And at the same time, you're going to have to do that for them as well. My last closing thing, I told y'all I wasn't going to be long now, so I stop all that whining and stuff. My challenge for you, I want you to do is ask yourself, who only picks me when it's convenient? Or I'm going to say, who only picks me up? We're going back to the coffee table, but who only picks me up when it's convenient? Who has access they haven't earned? Where do I need healthier boundaries? Who only picks me up when it's convenient? Who has access they haven't earned? And where do I need healthier boundaries? One more thing I want to say is you're not a coffee table book to be picked up when someone else feels like it and puts you down when they are finished. You're a person of value, so you have to protect your peace, guard your heart, and remember, those who truly value you won't only show up when it's convenient, they'll show up consistently. I want to add something to that too, because you really know who's with you when you have inconvenient times and people are still consistent with you. They still are supportive. They're still showing you that they are invested, even when things are not so convenient. Sometimes when things are not convenient for people and they're not able to get what they want from you, whether that's your time, whether that's your talent, whether that's your treasure, whether that is space with you, if they're not able to get that, they will dip out. So that until they can find somebody else that they can get. Sometimes people can't get money. If you're dating somebody like, well, if we ain't, came together by this time, or you're not paying for this, or you're not doing this or doing that for me, then I don't want to be with you anymore. I don't want to continue with you. And it's like, okay, so you were very superficial and you were here only to get something from me. You weren't here for the person. Um, a takeaway, one takeaway. People aren't entitled to unlimited access simply because they once had it. Access should be protected by wisdom, not guilt. You can't let people just pop in and out of your life having access to you like that. You are too precious. You're priceless, never less than price. people have to earn their space with you. And again, you have to earn your space with other people as well. But we're speaking about you because I'm talking to people who have been hurt and betrayed and deceived by people that they trusted at one point and thought that they were going to be healthy people for them, healthy and helpful, and people who will be sustaining the relationship of whatever kind that is, y'all. Marriage, dating, friendships, business, church, whatever. We can go down the list, membership clubs, whatever. So I want you to make sure that you're guarding your access. Everybody doesn't, the only person who should have unlimited access to you is the Lord. But there are high levels of access that a person can have where you are readily available to be present for them in any chance that you can or when you're available to. But you can't let people come in and out like that or think that people are entitled to have access to you that they have not earned and they've not been trusted with. So that's all I have for you guys. You are not a coffee table book. You ain't nobody's coffee table book. And how are we going to recognize when people are doing that? We're going to recognize the patterns, pay attention, the consistency of how somebody's showing up, whether that's healthy or unhealthy. Also, stop mistaking attention for honor. People can say and give you so much attention and love on you and compliment and everything in that nature and not really be honoring you. They're just, like the word says, that they honor me with their mouth, but their heart is far from me. That's the same type of how people can do you. They can honor you with their mouth, but their heart is not even connected to you because you're a person who is a resource for them. You're a person who is only you're their strength. You're their person that helps them, that supports them. That's the ear. You make them feel good about themselves. So you're almost like a drug sometimes to some people. And again, they might need to just go to rehab and not come to you. The last thing is boundaries protect what access can damage. Got to have boundaries. Got to say no. Got to have there's got to be certain gates like levels to a video game. It's got to be certain levels that people complete before getting that kind of access to you. And so you have to do that for others, but we're talking about you. So, y'all, I'm letting you go. It is Friday. I will see you next Friday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Again, some things are changing. And again, do I know everything about what's changing? I don't, but that's what we call faith. But I'm going to keep showing up and I'm going to continue to be consistent, right? It has been a year. Let me say it's been a year and 8 months. A year and 8 months. So 16 months. Is that right? I can count. No, no, no. Wait, 8, 9, 10. 20 months, y'all. Y'all pray for me. 20 months since the Inspiration Station has been going. And while it's gone through some shifts and changes, it's still going. So no telling what's next, but I know it's going to be great and better than what has been. And the Inspiration Station is not a coffee table book. You can't put this down. You pick it up just because you're interested in one moment and you put it down. But no, spread love now more than ever, you guys. We need it, and it starts with you. Most definitely now more than ever. I love you guys. I will see you next Friday. I was about to say love, peace, and soul. This is not Soul Train, but again, you've always been great. You're just getting better, and you're knowing that you're not a coffee table book, and people just can't dust you off, pick you up when they're interested, and put you back down for you to collect dust over time until they're ready to pick you back up again. All right. I love y'all. See y'all. Share, like, and subscribe. Bye.